Crafting a good intention, principle number 2. Craft an intention for a change you feel ripe and ready to make, but nonetheless are having difficulty making. This is an intention for a change you sense holds keys for your personal development and is organically next for you in succeeding with your larger goal. Many of us have some big goals or desires for which a single intention to meet that goal or fulfill that desire will be too grand and complex for our intelligence to respond to all at once. If you are working on such a goal or desire, take some time to break it down into smaller steps or aspects to be able to see what's really next for you. For example, let's say your goal is to win the Boston Marathon. Break this goal down into its components and see where in the process you are, and in particular, where you are having difficulty. Perhaps you see that you need to do an analysis of your training program and then set an intention to make changes with respect to any bad habits you discover. Maybe you notice that you're resistant even to the idea of doing an analysis of your training, let alone making changes in response to what you find. In this case, the next step toward your larger goal of winning the marathon would be to set an intention to do an analysis of your current training program. Such an intention would address the dynamics within your resistance and free you up to take that next step. A corollary to principle 2 is to see if in fact the goal you've determined is inherently flawed. For example, setting a Raydiant Pathway intention to win next month's Boston Marathon when in fact you're just now starting to run 3 miles a day is a setup for failure, as the fitness gap is simply too great. Or perhaps you've set a goal to be happily married within 6 months, but right now you're terrified to date. I'm exaggerating here a bit to make a point. I'm not saying don't set ambitious, even outrageous goals for yourself, especially if you enjoy and are inspired by big challenges, but be good to yourself too by setting goals that take into account where you are and the gap you create with the goal. If the gap is big, be honest with yourself in assessing whether or not it's too big and needs to be redesigned so that you can create a win for yourself. A goal and a good intention for the next step in fulfilling it should feel like a stretch, but an exciting stretch, a stretch you are ripe and ready to go for. For those of you who do have a big goal, I have provided a 9-step process to help you break it down, determine meaningful milestones, and create a success team to help you stay on course. To find it, go to the Intention menu on your member dashboard. Select Your Intention. Once you're on the Your Intention page, click the Pathways for Big Goals menu item at the bottom.